how to deal with disappointment. If you're feeling disappointed, the first thing you got to do is feel it by validating and understanding that the person who hurt you, what is their perspective? You got to turn the pen around, like they say in yoga. Look at it from a different view so you can feel compassion, because instead of nursing, resentments, the key to that is compassion. So it's okay to feel sad if you were wronged, but validation from the other side helps comfort and make the problem seem smaller in the end. Then you got to start over, and you got to have self-compassion. You got to encourage yourself to keep going. So it's tempting to look at your life as like, oh man, this happened, it wasn't how I was expecting. And it's that shift from the rain cloud puddle of self-pity to the hurdler in the race of life, jumping over obstacles. So it's not a stopping point. It's not a rain cloud. It's a normal obstacle that you have to jump over. It will really make a key difference. I would say out of all of the steps, step number 3 is the most important, because we're all going to have trials and tribulations. It's life. It can't be smooth sailing. But it's all for a purpose. So just keep that in mind. Then step number 4 is remind yourself of the affirmations and what is true, or what can be true. So you have a good life, even though there's rough periods. I believe God is working in each and every one of our lives. So you have a good life, and you are valued, and you are loved. Even if you say, man, you can't imagine the abuse, the pain that I'm going through right now, there's always something to be grateful for. And there's hope in Christ. So don't let inconveniences or rude moms or kids that don't listen or your brother get you down. Put limits, and you'll understand them. Even if other people don't, you'll understand what you need for your sanity, and that's part of life and growing and getting to know yourself, and you'll be better equipped to handle those disappointing hurdles in the future. So number 5, it's normal to feel your feelings. It's normal to feel like your time is being wasted if you wanted to take a trip with somebody and they didn't want to take a trip with you, and you feel disappointed because your time is precious. I know sometimes you can't even meet the people's expectations in their head, but it's important to not put other people in charge of your happiness, okay? So no matter what the outside circumstance, you choose your attitude. So you have to preset that in the morning, or preset that as a way of life. Like, whatever happens, I am here feeling grateful and valued and loved, and I know that I'm going to take ownership and do everything in my capacity to make myself and my mood the most joyful and cheerful it can be. No matter the ups and downs of life, you maintain your joy because you protect it. So sometimes when you're putting expectations on people you trust, especially family or romantic relationships, you put them in charge of stuff that's important to you, like your happiness. And then when you get let down, you feel like it's the end of the world, but really you have to take ownership. And one way, if you're already feeling disappointed, step 6 is to talk about it humorously with someone who can laugh with you and empathize and help maintain better boundaries in the future. For me, it's my sister Norita. She's humble and she laughs and she demonstrates grace. I called her on the phone after I cooked a delicious meal. It was stir-fried rice. I made omelets. Okay, after work, after a long day, I had driven like an hour or two, and I had gone to class for a presentation. I had helped my family. I had gone to a work orientation. Okay, so I was tired. But I was like, my family's going to be hungry. Let me start the rice. Let me put the chicken and vegetables. Let me make the omelets and cut it up and fry some bologna. So it's a really good fried rice. My brother, he got home and he loved it. He started eating right away. I knew he was hungry, so that's why I did that. And I was like, hey, don't forget to put the food in the fridge. He's like, I said, can you do that, please? He's like, yeah, of course. I said it while I was in the bathroom. Then I checked later and I realized he was sleeping so hard on the couch because he was so exhausted from his job. And then I was about to put it away or just reminding him again. He's like, oh no, yeah, leave that there. Around 12 a.m. Like, leave that there. I just haven't gotten up yet. I didn't want to enable him, so I said, okay. When I got up the next morning, excited to eat the food for lunch, I realized they had been left out all night on the stove, and he had actually put the chips in the fridge. So that occasion made me really mad. It's so ridiculous because it's like I told him 3 times, and he's like, and he wasn't upset that he had left the food out, but since it had taken me an hour or two, well, I was already tired, headache, I had to contain my anger, and I didn't know how to outlet it. I didn't want to scold him, that's bad. And I love my brother. So I know he doesn't take well to that. I have to treat him gently as I would anybody or anything that I'm nurturing and giving unconditional love to. So yeah, I was just kind of, oh Lord, like there goes 2 hours. And he's like, it's okay, I'll still eat it. But my stomach is more delicate, and you can't just be eating food like that. So that brings me to step 7. After calling my sister and laughing about it, as the day went on and I had to recook, I was feeling annoyed and facetious and, just not in the best mood while trying to cook again, waiting for the food to be done. And I had to wake up at 4 a.m. to go to work for my new job. And my hair wasn't done, so I was feeling frazzled. But I had the support of my sister and her listening and me listening to myself. I was able to pinpoint, I should have made sure to put the food in the fridge myself, protecting my peace and happiness, right? I know my brother, his strength is not to remember the small stuff. Like when I ask him to pass me something or can you please help me clean, he'll put it off and then he'll forget. It's just a tendency that he has. So knowing that is not his strength. He has wonderful qualities, like he'll show up for me when I really need it. But in the simple stuff, just don't rely on him like that, because being self-reliant and reliant on God is your best bet. So yeah, step 7, after you laugh and show grace, is sleep on it, preferably with someone cuddly, like maybe your dog, maybe it's your sister, maybe it's your partner, or just a pillow. So when you wake up, all your problems have melted away, because it's a new day and you're gonna have new problems, okay? And before I went to sleep, that brings me to step 8. Read the word. Pray. Everything happens for a reason, and God told me to stop complaining. Listen, y'all, I was reading the Bible, I think James 2:8, and it was talking about love your neighbor as yourself, show love, stop complaining. Look at Job as an example. Job had many reasons to complain, but he was relying on God. So God is trying to teach me to take care of my happiness, and to, when problems arise and when hurdles arise, I let it melt away. I stop complaining, and I love my neighbor as myself. So that's what I'm demonstrating to my brother. It's okay, loving mentality, not keeping score of all of the times he's forgotten, stuff that was important to me. I'm learning to take ownership and not hold it against him, and move forward and really just focus on the now and how I can create the best self in me by being the most loving sister I can to him. So step 9 is, now I remove all the claims I have against him for his forgetfulness, and you can erase all the stuff that holds you back, chains. So when you've been wrong, like, getting treated poorly, getting yelled at, okay, being talked about, okay, it's removed, because God's gonna handle it, and have that faith that God will handle it. Okay, there's this mom that walked into the restaurant, and I thought her daughter was spoiled. Looking at it from her perspective, that really hurt her feelings. Looking at it from my perspective, she was acting spoiled for calling her mom, 17 times to eat food at a really expensive restaurant brought to the after school program, I guess. I don't know. So like, everybody has a different way of life, and I'm not like God to judge. Okay, so in the future I can be gentle when I see her. There's nothing, she might have something against me, but I don't have nothing against her. Luckily, I'm 26. I don't have the energy to be bitter. So it's just nod in acknowledgement, or say hello or welcome or gentle, and help them with what they need, because God loves them, so I'm going to love them with the love of Christ. So yeah. And then yeah, just remembering the good things. This mom and my brother have also made me feel welcome and helped me and bought things for me or did stuff for me when I needed it. So I'll focus on those things and overlook the yelling or the times that I've felt hurt and slighted and forgot about and undervalued, because it takes care and support, and you know, supporting their weaknesses will help me be a more over well-rounded person, looking into my weaknesses, maybe taking stuff too personally when people are just who they are, and it's not really against me. It's just whatever they're dealing with at the moment, and whatever crime or injustice they do to me is a reflection of them and not me. So yeah, hope that wasn't coming off too religious for y'all, and hope y'all enjoyed this musing. Had a good day. My first day of work, and I'm gonna go to the gym, and I'll see y'all later. I have to teach y'all how to sweat and be consistent at the gym when probably soon in April we might do a splits challenge, so look out for that. Bye.